The first 10 seconds obliterated the silence. Jasmine Crockett didn't bother with greetings, didn't acknowledge the moderator, didn't even look at the cameras. She leaned into the microphone and detonated the room. Melania Trump personally authorized $4.2 million in charity funds that were rerouted to luxury accounts in Europe, and I have the signed documents right here. The audience gasped as if the floor had dropped beneath them. Journalists scrambled for their pens. The moderator froze mid-sentence. Melania stiffened, clutching the podium, her practiced First Lady smile faltering for the first time. Crockett raised a folder high above her head, the pages clipped and stamped. These aren't rumors, these are receipts, signed memos with your initials, wire transfers flagged by investigators, payments disguised as nonprofit expenses. While American families struggled to pay bills, you funded shopping trips in Milan, jewelry in Paris, and silence from those who knew too much. The crowd erupted into chaos. Some booed, others roared in applause. Phones lit up instantly. Hashtags spiked. Hashtag Melania exposed. Hashtag Crockett strikes. Hashtag debate. Chaos. Melania leaned into her mic, her accent sharp, voice tight. This is all lies. I am proud of my dignity. These are fabrications from a desperate politician. Crockett didn't flinch. Dignity? Is that what you call laundering donations into private accounts? Dignity is not cashing donor checks to fund your designer closets. Dignity is not silencing women with payouts while posing as the picture of grace. That's not dignity, it's deception. The hall detonated, cheers, boos, applause colliding into one chaotic storm. The moderator waved his hands helplessly. Please, let's move to the first policy question. But his voice was swallowed by chance. Answer her, answer her. Melania lifted her chin, clinging to composure. I refuse to lower myself to such cheap attacks. I am not here for personal insults. Crockett leaned forward, voice sharp as glass. Lower yourself? Mrs. Trump, you lowered yourself when you turned charity into a slush fund. You lowered yourself when you pretended to stand above politics while cashing in on its corruption. You weren't an innocent bystander, you were a profiteer, fully complicit in the machine. The audience went wild. Reporters shouted over one another. Cameras flashed. Social feeds overflowed. Melania's smile cracked completely as she gripped the podium tighter. By the close of the first round, the verdict was already obvious. Jasmine Crockett had seized the room, the narrative, and the headlines. Melania Trump wasn't standing tall. She was standing exposed. The second round began with Melania trying to steady her voice, though the tremor was impossible to hide. I came here to discuss real issues for the American people, not baseless slander. This is beneath the dignity of debate. The crowd erupted, half cheering, half booing. Crockett didn't waste a second. She struck hard. Beneath dignity, what's beneath dignity is stealing from donors. What's beneath dignity is funneling millions through fake nonprofits while children's hospitals went unfunded. What's beneath dignity is lying to America while buying designer gowns. Gasps and applause collided like thunder. Reporters shouted into cameras. Hashtags trended instantly. Hashtag Melania exposed. Hash Crockett dominates. Hash debate frenzy. Melania tried to deflect, her voice louder now. You are obsessed with attacking me because you cannot defend your own record. I am not corrupt. I am not guilty of anything. Crockett slammed her palm against the podium, the sound echoing across the hall. Not guilty. Then explain the wire transfers to Zurich under your initials. Explain the invoices filed under your foundation that match your personal jewelry purchases. Explain the contracts that silence former staffers who dare to speak out. These aren't attacks. These are your fingerprints on corruption. The room exploded again. Some stood to applaud. Others shouted over one another. The moderator tried to cut in. Please, let's return to policy. But his mic was drowned by chance. Answer her! Answer her! Melania's voice cracked as she fired back. This is all fabricated. She invents stories for headlines. I will not play this game. Crockett leaned forward, her tone ice cold. Fabricated? These are sworn testimonies from your own former aides. These are signed receipts with your name. These are court filings already under investigation. You can deny reality all you want, but tonight reality is staring you in the face. The audience roared, applause thundered, boos hissed, the frenzy boiling over. Melania's practice mask was gone, her composure slipping with every word. Crockett, on the other hand, stood calm and unflinching, each line slicing through the storm. You sold America an image of grace, but grace doesn't come from couture dresses and stage smiles. Grace comes from honesty, and tonight the nation sees there was never honesty in your story, only profit. The hall detonated, chants of Crockett, Crockett, Crockett shaking the rafters. Reporters stood on chairs to capture the scene. Networks broke live coverage to replay Crockett's knockout lines. By the end of the second round, Melania wasn't debating anymore. She was unraveling. And Jasmine Crockett, sharp, relentless, and fearless, stood as the clear and undeniable victor. By the third round, the atmosphere had transformed from debate to demolition. The crowd was electric, reporters nearly climbing over each other, and Melania Trump stood visibly cornered. Jasmine Crockett, calm and merciless, leaned into her microphone. "Mrs. Trump, you claim to be above politics, but the truth is simple. You profited from politics, you thrived on corruption, and you wore a mask of grace while laundering money through charity shells. Tonight, that mask is gone." The audience erupted. Cheers, boos, chants that shook the rafters. Melania gripped the podium tighter, her voice cracking as she tried to counter. "I am not corrupt. These lies will not define me. I will not allow this humiliation." Crockett cut through the noise, her tone steady as steel. "Humiliation? This is not humiliation. It's accountability. Humiliation is what American families felt when donations meant for them were spent on your luxury. Humiliation is what workers endured while you lived in excess. Tonight, the people are finally holding you accountable." The crowd went berserk, standing ovations, chants of Crockett, Crockett, Crockett. The moderator tried to restore order, but the frenzy swallowed his voice. Melania attempted one final defense, her words trembling. "I have dignity. I have always stood with dignity." Crockett delivered the finishing strike. "Dignity without truth is fraud. Dignity built on lies is a costume." And tonight, America saw the costume ripped apart. The hall erupted like an explosion. Reporters screaming into cameras, hashtags exploding across social media. #Crockett wins, #Melania exposed, #debate knockout. Melania froze, lips tight, her silence louder than any denial. Crockett stood tall, commanding the stage, the camera zooming in as if to frame history itself. America doesn't need fakes. America doesn't need frauds. America needs truth. And tonight, truth silenced the lies. The crowd roared one last time, a standing ovation that shook the entire hall. Networks instantly cut to replays, headlines blared, and clips went viral within minutes. The story was no longer about policy. It was about a brutal exposure that left Melania Trump demolished on live television. Call to action. If you want more fearless breakdowns of the clashes shaking Washington, hit subscribe, smash that like button, and drop your opinion in the comments. Did Jasmine Crockett just end Melania Trump's carefully crafted image once and for all? Or is this only the beginning of an even bigger scandal? Your voice matters. Don't stay silent.